With Island Packet Yachts. We're coming to you today from the dock at Harbridge Marina in downtown St. Petersburg. We are on board 34918 that we have delivered to Don and Karen. They are leaving this weekend to head to their home in Fort Myers, and we needed to get a video done on her. So here we are at the Harbridge on board 34918. As I said, 34918 is our first boat, or first 349 with a radar arch. Actually, you know, for davits. We also had the ability to put solar panels on here, but he chose not to at this time. We do have 34919 at the boatyard right now that we're commissioning. That's another reason why we're down here, and she'll have solar panels on her, so you'll see that here in the next video. Obviously, the davits for the dinghy. We've got lights here on the arch that you can turn on and off with a remote key fob. So if you're out at night in your dinghy and you're coming up to the boat, you can hit your key fob, light up the transom, and identify your boat. So another little cool feature that we're doing here. Obviously, we've got this boat all finished. K2 Marine has come in and installed the electronics. We've got a 12-inch Raymarine display here at the helm. We have a Raymarine autopilot, and of course our side power bow thruster. Obviously our single lever engine control. And then over here on the port side, we have our Ram VHF mic that TJ will show you when he gets on board. Obviously our windlass control from the cockpit, our underwater light control, and then our courtesy light control as well, with, you know, our little blue lights at the gates and at the swim step. We also we give you 2 USB plugs and a cigarette lighter plug here at the helm as well. They chose for the standard wheel, which obviously does not have the leather and is not a folding wheel. We do have the propane stored here, 2 10-pound propane tanks, so you've got plenty of propane for, honestly, probably this season and most of the next season. We have our Yanmar new digital display, obviously our 30-amp shore cord, and you know, our manual bilge pump. Obviously, we got the hard Dodger on the boat as well. We've got manual furling on the main, on the jib, and on the reacher, but we do have electric primary winches. So solid boom vang, the Antoll halyard slider system on the mast. So the first 349 with the new jib track. So as you can see, the Hoyt boom is gone, as we have started doing on the 439, and we have a self-tacking jib track here that really cleans up the foredeck, and we have found actually trims better than the jib with the boom. What we found with the boom is that we could never get it really up to center, or much less to windward. And what we have found with the self-tacking jib track is that we can actually pull the windward sheet and move this car to windward. So it really does allow you actually better sail trim than with the boom, and of course really frees up the bow area. You can actually walk, you know, through the bow, as we're obviously the boom, you're either stepping over it or going around it. We do have our 55-pound Mantis anchor, 300 feet of 3/8 chain, our standard low franz windlass, and then of course our windlass controls up and down here, as well as a raw water washdown. I think that covers the deck. Why don't we'll have TJ come on up and do the helm, show you the helm, and then we'll explain the stoppers underneath the Dodger to you, and then we'll go on down below. Okay, we're back in the cockpit now. TJ's in the cockpit, and we've got a better angle to show you the windlass up and down control here at the helm. This is for the underwater lights, and then, of course, as we mentioned, the safety lighting at the gates and at the swim step, and then one here in front of the helm. Our 2 USB plugs, as well as our cigarette lighter plug, and then our RAM VHF mic out here. They elected to do the teak cockpit table, and just want to show you guys here. Obviously, we do the inlaid star on the table, so you know it costs you some money, but you get a really nice table. Standard is the starboard table, if you want. And then we've got obviously our lazarette here on the starboard side. The port side locker is a very shallow locker here on port. It's only about 4 inches. This is the main storage area in the 349. Pretty deep storage area. We do give you a light, and we do give you a step, which I haven't seen any other manufacturers do. So some good storage there, and but you obviously you do have to climb in and out of it, but we do give you a step. Okay. All right. Up here below the Dodger, we have obviously our lines coming aft. We have our spare main halyard or topping lift. It is currently being used as a topping lift, but we don't need it as a topping lift with the solid vine. The boom vine, and then the main outhaul coming to a manual winch, and then we have our furling line here, furling in and basically furling out. Up on the sea hood, we have 3 multi-instruments that obviously we can program to do whatever most people do, you know, wind point, wind speed on one, depth on one, and not on the other. It's entirely up to you. Don and Karen did choose the starboard finish in the companionway as far as the starboard cafe doors, the starboard trim, and of course the starboard trim on the slider. You do also get starboard hatch boards, so that if you're in some place that you don't feel as safe, where they could break through that possibly and gain access to the boat, we give you starboard hatch boards that are completely solid, so you can lock up the boat a little more secure if you'd like to. Obviously, as always, Island Packet gives you some good size hooks here in the cockpit for safety line. Snap harness is on. And then, of course, I also didn't mention we have the traveler lines coming aft here through as well. Obviously, a hard Dodger with our logo here in the center, and then we've added the blue lights. I hope you can see those, but they're on in a diffuser here, so they're nice and dim, but enough light to obviously be able to see what you're doing. And then the other direction is red. So we have red, we have off, and then we have blue. So a nice little touch we feel like there as well. They did do the deluxe cockpit cushions. They're down below, and we're not gonna show you those today. Okay. All right, down below 34918. As you can tell, she is a maple boat. Very pretty down below. They did kind of an off gray, very light gray blue, ultra leather upholstery. And she's just absolutely lovely. We got obviously a 12-volt panel, one 10-volt panel over here. We've got our VHF, we've got our Victron display, we've got our Victron battery meter, our tank tender system, our Victron inverter panel, and then obviously our normal 12-volt, 120-volt panels and breakers. Our new lights that we went to a while back, I don't know if I've demoed these or not, but they do go obviously on, and then you can hit them again and that will light up, so at night you can actually find the little switch. You hit it again, it comes on. If you hold it, it gets brighter, and then if you continue to hold it, it goes on down to dim. So now we have every light on the boat is dimmable. The side lights, the hull side lighting, the overhead lighting. The only stuff that's not dimmable are the touch lights that we do in the head and then the cabins, forward and aft cabin. I'm thinking, obviously this is the V-berth layout, the 2 settees. They did not want to do the drop-down table to make a berth. Instead, they wanted to do the flip-up, flip-down table. So as their request, that's what we did. The two settees gives you a little storage down below, but obviously the captain's chairs are really comfortable. We do have the air conditioner running. This boat did do a 110-volt air conditioner in the salon, and then a 12-volt unit aft in the aft cabin. All right, I think that kind of does my part that you guys haven't seen in the past. I'm going to let TJ walk you around the boat and show you what's going on. And then when he gets to the front of the boat, I just want to lift up the engine hatch. So, you know, for those of you who have not seen that, you can see that on this boat. In the galley, 34918, a couple of things I wanted to show you before we wrap this up. We do have the two-door refrigerator. Now they've added a temperature on the doors, which is nice. So I can tell you that my freezer is set at 4 degrees and the refrigerator is at 36. And then Don and Karen elected not to do the microwave, so we built them an extra storage cabinet here, where normally the microwave would be here. On 34919, you're going to see that the galley is flush all the way across, and that is one option that we do. We keep this level height of the galley all the way across, but of course the sacrifice is a smaller refrigerator, but you do get a little bit more storage area. Obviously, our stairway that we're very, very proud of. We've got even extra storage underneath the step. They've installed the paper towel holder there. And then obviously, as you guys know, the stairs come up and really great access to the engine. You know, as an Island Packet dealer for 25 years, I always struggled with the engine access. That, you know, this, I believe, is the way to go. It actually takes one guy a full week to make this engine cover, which is probably 5 times longer or more than what it used to take on the older boats. But you know what? We're building the best boat we can, and engine access is very important. As always, access over here on each side, as well as underneath the berth in the aft cabin. This is a Yanmar 45 horsepower, which is an oversized engine for this size boat. And obviously, you can tell we give you a light. I could have easily put a 35 or even a 40 horsepower in this boat, and but that's a 3-cylinder engine, and I just don't like 3-cylinder engines at idle because they shake. The boat shakes, and so we upgraded to the 45, and to give you guys just a whole better experience. So that's concludes my part here on 34918. We wish you guys great sailing adventures, and God bless.